What do we mean by the term masculinity? Masculinity is a set of behaviours, characteristics and attributes which are typically associated with what it means to be a man. However, many women may also have the qualities we're talking about today in abundance. Masculinity as a quality does not always equal male, but it usually does. The definition of masculinity varies according to different cultures, traditions, time periods, geographies, religions, and many other factors. The traits most commonly associated with masculinity in the modern Western world include physical strength, fearlessness, dominance, power, competitiveness, toughness, and other related characteristics. Sometimes, high social or financial status, high levels of sex drive, and sexual prowess are considered to form part of the wider image of masculinity. So, is the idea of masculinity all just made up by society? This is where it gets tricky. If we're going to directly equate masculinity as the commonly derived traits of being a biological male, we have to look across many cultures which don't share the societal views we're used to in the modern West to see what we all have in common. So are there traits which biological males across any culture tend to have in common? Well, yes, there are. Usually, males are larger than females. Usually, males have deeper voices than females. Usually, males are stronger due to having denser muscle mass. Usually, males are prone to being more aggressive due to higher levels of testosterone. But these are all physical attributes, so the character qualities we derive from these will also have an element of nurture rather than purely nature. And they will always have a level of societal influence, meaning we're born physically a certain way, but immediately we're all influenced in behaviour by the world around us. Is masculinity positive? So, assuming these physical qualities across nations are correct, and we're talking about males generally and usually, not always as there are many outliers, then we can begin to extrapolate. Does being more naturally aggressive make you more competitive societally? If so, does being more competitive societally make you more likely to be more competitive in the work environment? We've taken two leaps here, but possibly. Might this explain higher levels of male CEOs? It's ideas like this that researchers still ponder over today, with interesting proposals being made on both sides of the argument. Some psychologists argue males are naturally more competitive due to higher levels of testosterone. So, does this put paid to the opposite idea, that there is an organised patriarchal oppression stopping would-be female CEOs from climbing to the top of the corporate ladder? Maybe. This is just part of a much larger puzzle, which we'll explore in more detail in gender equality topics. But let's get back to the idea of aggression, testosterone, at the physical level, flowing into the competitiveness at the societal level. Nothing is wrong with being competitive. It can motivate you to work hard and achieve for yourself and your family. If we're allowing ourselves to equate masculinity with competitiveness, then yes, competitiveness is positive masculinity. The leaps we've taken here can also be made with physical strength, toughness and fearlessness, from many men working in dangerous environments in mining and construction to men generally going to war to protect their country, although women do too of course, or being victims of war too. These are all examples of positive masculinity. And as touched upon, it should go without saying that of course many women do go to war and many women work in dangerous environments too. However, these are still much lower in numbers, even today. So does that mean that masculinity is all positive? No. Masculinity is neither positive or negative. For example, strength really is neither positive or negative. You can use it to punch someone weaker than you, or you can use it to carry a person out of a burning building. It's what you do with masculinity that counts. Do straight women tend to like straight, typically masculine men? This depends very much on the woman. Straight women tend to love men with positive masculine characteristics. and tend to dislike men with negative masculine characteristics. Recent studies have shown that women like men who naturally have motivation and potential, rather than someone who has not worked to acquire the possible positive outcomes of those attributes themselves. But what does that mean? It means women will be attracted to the man who has made their own money, worked hard to gain a great position, or is working to and hasn't yet, rather than the rich third-generation guy who has inherited his money due to no work on his own part, or the guy who was given a good job by his mate. Why? Well, not just because women tend to make their own money too, so they want a man who can do the same, but also because those qualities of drive and achievement are the attractive things, and this is often subconscious, not usually the money itself. However, there's nothing less classy than a show-off and a flashy guy revving his engine with other girls hanging off his arm, and this is a massive turn-off to any women who want an actual relationship. Choosing between a man with less money but more drive and ambition, or a man with more money and less drive and ambition, research shows that women will usually go for the former. What about physically? Physically, women prefer men who smile. Overall, a man's positive masculine personality, his confidence, his sense of doing the right thing, sticking up for the underdog, being competitive but not mean, and being tough and working hard to achieve are the things which will allow him to go far, with women, and with other men, and with life. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more PSHE videos.